It will depend on your situation and your goals. For someone who is trying to lose weight, eating a bagel with peanut butter every morning might be a bad habit. For someone who is trying to bulk up and add muscle, the same behavior might be a good habit. It all depends on what you are working toward. Scoring your habits can be a bit more complex for another reason as well. The labels good habit and bad habits are slightly inaccurate. There are no good habits or bad habits. They are only effective habits that is effective at solving problems. All habits serve you in some way, even the bad ones, which is why you repeat them. For this exercise, categorize your habits by how they will benefit you in the long run. Generally speaking, good habits will have net positive outcomes. Bad habits have net negative outcomes. Smoking a cigarette may reduce stress right now. That's how it's serving you, but it's not healthy for long-term behavior. If you are still having trouble determining how to rate a particular habit, here is a question like I like to use. Does this behavior help me become the type of person I want to be? Does this habit cast a vote for or against my desired identity? Habits that reinforce your desired identity are usually good. Habits that conflict with your desired identity are usually bad. As you create your habits scorecard, there is no need to change anything at first. The goal is to simply notice that what is actually going on with your thoughts and actions without judgment or internal criticism. Don't blame yourself for your faults. Don't praise yourself for your successes. If you eat a chocolate bar every morning, acknowledge it almost as if you were watching someone else, or how interesting that they would do such a thing. If you you simply notice that you are eating more calories than you should. If you waste time online, notice that you are spending your life in a way that you don't want to. The first step to changing bad habits is to be on the lookout for them. If you feel like you need extra help, then you can try pointing and calling in your own life. Say out loud the action that you are thinking of taking and what the outcome will be. If you want to cut back on your junk food habit but not yourself grabbing another cookie, say out loud, I am about to eat this cookie, but I don't need it. Eating it will cause me to gain weight and hurt my health. Hearing your bad habits spoken and aloud makes the consequences seem more real. It adds weight to the action rather than letting yourself mindlessly slip into an old routine. This approach is useful. Pointing and which approach? I am about to eat this cookie. If you want to cut the say out loud, pointing and louding. Habits to be broken look like an extra. Hearing your bad habits spoken aloud makes the conversation more real. It adds weight to the action. This approach is useful even if you're simply trying to remember a task or your to-do list. Just saying out loud, tomorrow I need to go to the post office after lunch, increases the odds that you will actually do it. You are getting yourself to acknowledge the need for action, and that can make all the difference. The process of behavior change always starts with awareness. Strategies like pointing and calling and the habits scorecard are focused on getting you to recognize your habits and acknowledge the cues that trigger them, which makes it possible to respond in a way that benefits you. Once your habits become automatic, we stop paying attention to what we are doing. The process of behavior change always starts with awareness. You need to be aware of your habits before you can change them. Pointing and calling raises your level of awareness from a non-conscious habit to a more conscious level by verbalizing your actions. The habits scorecard is a simple exercise you can use to become more aware of your behavior. Number 5, the best way to start a new habit. This is the chapter summary. I can't see. With enough practice, your brain will pick up on the cues and that predict certain outcomes without consciously thinking about it. The best way to start a new habit. In 2001, researchers in Great Britain began working with 248 people to build better exercise habits. Over the course of 2 weeks, the subjects were divided into three groups. The first group was the control group. They were simply asked to track asked to track how often they exercise. The second group was the motivation group. They were asked not only to track their workout but also array, to read some material on the benefits of exercise. The researcher also explained to the group how exercise could reduce the risk of coronary heart disease and improve heart health. And finally, there was the third group. These subjects received the same presentation as the second group, which ensured that they had equal levels of motivation. However, they were also asked to formulate a plan for when and where they would exercise over the following week. Specifically, each member of the third group completed the following sentence during the next week. I will practice in at least 20 minutes of vigorous exercise on a day at time in place. In the first and second group, 35 to 30% of people exercise at least once per week. Interestingly, the motivational presentation given to the second group seemed to have an no meaningful impact on behavior, but 91% of the third group exercise at least once per week, more than double the normal rate. The sentence they filled out is what researchers refer to as an implementation intention, which is a plan you make beforehand, beforehand, about when and where to act. That is how you intend to implement a particular habit. The cues that can trigger a habit come in a wide range of forms. The feel of your phone buzzing in your pocket, the smell of chocolate chip out of ambulance siren, but the two most common cues are time and location. Implementation intention these both of these cues. Broadly speaking, the format for creating an implementation intention is when situation X arises, I will perform response Y. Hundreds of studies have shown that implementation intentions are effective for sticking to our goals, whether it is writing down the exact time and date of when you will get a flu shot or recording the time of your colonoscopy appointment. They increase the odds that people will stick with habits like recycling, studying, going to sleep early, and stopping smoking. Researchers have even found that voter turnout increases when people are forced to create implementation intentions by answering questions like what route are you taking to the polling station, at what time you are planning to go, what bus will get you there. Other successful government programs have prompted citizens to make a clear plan to send taxes in on time or provided directions on when and where to pay the late traffic bills. The punchline is clear. People who make a specific plan for when and where they will perform a new habit are more likely to follow. Though too many people try to change their habits without these basic details figured out, we tell ourselves, I'm going to eat healthier or I'm going to write more, but we never say when and where these habits are going to happen. We leave it up to chance and hope that we will just remember to do it or feel motivated at the right time. And implementation intention sweeps away foggy notions like I want to work out more or I want to be more productive or I should vote and transform them into a concrete plan of action. Many people think they lack motivation when what they really lack is clarity. It is not always obvious when and where to take action. Some people spend their entire lives waiting for the time to be right to make an improvement. Once an implementation has been set, you don't have to wait for inspiration to start. Do I write a chapter today or not? Do I meditating this morning or at lunch? When the moment of action occurs, there is no need to make the decision. Simply follow your predetermined plan. The simple way to apply this strategy to your habits is to fill out this sentence. I will study at 4 o'clock in Ratlam. I will I will meditation. I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. I will study Spanish for 20 minutes at 6 p.m. in my bedroom. Exercise. I will exercise for 1 hour at 5 p.m. in my local gym. Marriage. I will make my partner a cup of tea at 8 a.m. in the kitchen. If you are not sure when to start your habit, try the first day of the week, month, or year. People are more likely to take action at those. I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in kitchen. Okay. If you are not sure about the punchline is clear. People who make a specific plan for when and where they perform are more likely to follow through. If you are not sure when to start your habit, try the first day of the week, month, or year. People are more likely to take action at those. times because hopes is usually higher. If we have hope, we have a reason to take action. A fresh start feels motivating. There is another benefit to implementation intention being specific about what you want and how you will achieve it. Helps you say no to things helps you say to know things helps you say no to things that derail progress, disturb your attention, pull you off course. We often say yes to little requests because we are not clear enough about what we need to do in not to be doing instead. When your dreams are vague, it's easy to rationalize little exceptions all day long and never get around to the specific things you need to do to succeed. Give your habits a time and a space to live in the world. The goal is to make the time and location so obvious that with enough repetition you get an urge to do the right things at the right time, even if you can't say why. As the writer Jason Jung noted, obviously you are never going to just work out without conscious thought, but like a dog salivating at a bell. Maybe you start to get antsy around the time of day you normally work out. There are many ways to use implementation intention in your life and work. My favorite approach is one I learned from Stanford professional Fogg, and it is a strategy I refer to as habit stacking. Habit stacking is a simple plan to overhaul your overhaul your habits. I am writing the line. The simple way to apply this strategy to your habit is to fill out this with the I will study biology biology at biology for 20 minutes at 6 p.m. in my room. In my bedroom. Meditation. I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. Pointing and calling. Now we start where I was. Habit stacking a simple plan to overhaul your habits. The French philosopher Denis Diderot lived nearly his entire life in poverty, but that all changed one. Where I this But that all changed one day in 1765. Dedrod's daughter was about to be married and he could not afford to pay for the wedding. Despite his lack of wealth, Dedros was well known for his role as the co-founder and writer of Encyclopedia, one of the most comprehensive encyclopedias of the time. When Catherine the Great, the Empress of Russia, heard of Dedros' financial troubles, her heart went out to him. She was a book lover and greatly enjoyed this encyclopedia. She offered to buy Dedros' personal library for more than $150,000 today. Suddenly, Redrods had money to spare. With his new wealth, he not only paid the wedding but also acquired a scarlet robe for himself. Redrod's scarlet robe was beautiful, so beautiful, in fact, that he immediately noticed how out of place it seemed when surrounded by his more common possessions. He wrote that there was no more where I was. There was no more coordination, no more unity, no more beauty between his elegant robe and the rest of his stuff. Dedrick soon felt the urge to upgrade his possessions. He replaced his rug with one from Damascus. He decorated his home with expensive sculptures. He bought a mirror to place above the mantel and a better kitchen table. He tossed aside his old straw chair for a leather one, like falling dominoes. Or one purchase led to the next. Dedrick's behavior is not uncommon. In fact, the tendency for one purchase to lead to another one has a name, the Dedros effect. The Dedros effect states that obtaining a new possession often creates a spiral of consumption that leads to additional purchases. You can spot this pattern everywhere. You can buy a dress and you have to get new shoes and earrings to match. You can buy a couch only cushion by with the layout of your entire living room. You buy a toy for your child and soon find yourself purchasing all the accessories that go with it. It is a chain reaction of purchases. Many human behaviors follow this cycle. You often decide what to do next based on what you have just finished doing. Going to the bathroom leads to washing and drying your hands, which reminds you that you need to put the dirty towels in the laundry. So you add laundry detergent to the shopping list, and so on. Behavior happens in isolation. Each action becomes a cue that triggers to the next behavior. Why is this important? In addition to her payment for the library, Catherine the Great asked Deirdre to keep the books until she needed them and offered to pay him a yearly salary to act as her librarian. When it comes to building new habits, you can use the connectedness of behavior to your advantage. One of the best way to build a new habit is to identify a current habit you already do each day and then stack your new behavior on top. This is the habit stacking. Habit stacking is a special form of an implementation rather than pairing your habit with a particular time and location. You pair it with the current habit. This method, which was created by BJ Fogg as part of this Tiny Habits program, can be used to design an obvious cue for nearly any habit. The habit stacking formula is after current habit with will new habit. For example, meditation. Take just water. I will take water. Okay. This is also. I am writing these lines. Wait. Meditation. After I pour my cup of coffee each morning, I will meditate for 1 minute. For 1 minute, ठीक है. After I sit down to dinner, I will say one thing I am grateful for that happened today. Gratitude. I say after I take off my, I will immediately change into my workout clothes. After I take off my work suit, I will immediately change into my workout clothes. No. Gratitude. After I sit down to dinner. After I sit down to dinner, I will say one thing I am grateful for that happened today. I will say one thing I am grateful for that I am grateful for that happened today. I write this lines also. I will bracket and behavior bracket close at bracket my time bracket goes in bracket my location. ठीक है, इसके बाद है द हैबिट स्टेकिंग फॉर्मूला इज आफ्टर ब्रैकेट में करेंट हैबिट कॉमा आई विल न्यू हैबिट. ठीक है, ये अपन ने पढ़ लिया. इसके बाद अपन आएंगे जस्ट वेट अ मिनट. The key is to tie your desired behavior into something you already do each day. Once you have mastered the basic structure, you can begin to create large stakes by chaining small habits together. This allows you to. Fogg refers to this strategy as the tiny habits recipe, but I will call it the habit stacking formula throughout the book. Recipe. This allows you to take advantage of the natural momentum that comes from one behavior leading to the next. A positive version of the dead road factor. Your morning routine habits stack might look like this. After I pour my cup of coffee, I will meditate for 60 seconds. After I meditate for 60 seconds, I will write my to-do list for the day. First of all, habit stacking. Habit 1. Cue, craving, response, reward. Then habit 2. Cue, craving, response, reward. Habit 3. Cue, craving, response, reward. Habit 4. Habit stacking increases the likelihood that you will stick with a habit by figure on top of an old one. This process can be repeated to chain numerous habits together, each one acting as the cue for the next. I must write this after I pour my morning cup of hot water. I will meditate for 60 seconds. Number 2. After I meditate for 60 seconds, I will write my to-do list for the day. After I write my to-do list for the day, I will immediately begin my first task or consider that I will take in the evening. I finish eating, then I will put my diet into the dishwasher. I put my wishes. This is the way I will really wipe down the counter. I will wipe down the counter. I will set up my coffee mug for tomorrow morning. And number three, I also want to write. Number three, what is it? After I write my to-do list, after I write my to-do list for the day, I will immediately begin my. I will immediately begin my first task. Okay, done. You can also insert new behaviors into the middle of your current routine. For example, you may already have a morning routine that looks like this: wake up, make my bed, take a shower. Let's say you want to develop the habit of reading more each night. You can expand your habit stage and try something like wake up, make my bed, place a book on my pillow, take a shower. Now, when you climb into bed each night, a book will be sitting there waiting for you to enjoy. Overall, habit stacking allow you to create a set of simple rules that guide your future behavior. It is like you always have a game plan for which actions would come next. Once you get comfortable with this approach, you can develop habits that to guide you whenever the situation is appropriate. Exercise: when I see a set of stairs, I will take them instead of using the elevator. Social skills: when I walk into party, I will introduce myself to someone I don't know yet. Finances: when I want to buy something over $100, I will wait 24 hours before purchasing. Healthy eating: when I serve myself a meal, I will always put veggies on my plate first. Minimalism: when I buy a new item, I will give something away, one in, one out. I will give something away, one in, one out. More. When the phone rings, I will take one deep breath and smile before answering. One deep breath and smile before answering. Forgetfulness: when I leave a public place, I will check the table and chairs to make sure I don't leave anything behind. No matter how you use this strategy, the secret to creating a successful habit stack is selecting the right way to kick things off. Unlike an implementation intentions, which specifically state the time and location for a given behavior, habit stacking impli- implicitly implicitly has the time and location built into it. When and where you choose to insert a habit into your daily routine can make a big difference. If you are trying to add meditation to your morning routine, but mornings are if you keep running into the room, then that may be the wrong place and time. Consider when you are most likely to succeed. Don't ask yourself to do a habit when you are likely to be occupied with something else. Your cue should also have the same frequency as your desired habit. If you want to do a habit every day, but you stack it on top of a habit that only happens on Monday, a good sense. One way to find the right trigger for your habit stack is by brainstorming a list of your current habits. You can use your habits scorecard from the last chapter as a starting point. Alternatively, you can create a list with two columns. In the first column, write down the habit you can do each day without fail. For example, if you are looking for a more example in you can download a habit stacking template at atomichabits.com. Habit stacking. I want to write some lines. Uh, Minimalism. मिनिमलिज्म क्या होता है? When I buy a new item, यार ये बार बार Now let's go to bath and then again we start this. Bye.